Hey guys, Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video. I'm glad to have you all here today. Today we have a champion guide on Yoshi the Drunkard, the very first Shadowking legendary added to the game. He was actually a fragment summon, if I remember correctly, and he's a very interesting, a very unique champion in the game. Can't wait to cover him with you guys today, but first a few shout outs to you guys. We have Alex Axe 9716 says, I just pulled Yoshi. Could you do a guide on him? I found one, but it's 2 years old. My favorite charity is Autism Speak. My oldest son has autism. So when you talk about your brother, I know how you feel. Great video. I just got Raph. Didn't know what to do with him. Well, much love. Autism in general. My brother was autistic, and he's very sadly passed away a few years ago. And I've made it somewhat. I don't know. I don't want to sound so pretentious about it, but I've made it a big part of my life, not just to try to raise funds for charities out there who do autism advocacy and lobbying and support and services. Education, etc., but also to kind of raise awareness and think about the way we treat not just autistic people, but people with all intellectual and developmental disabilities. I think that I forgot whose quote it is, but you can tell a lot, or you can judge a society by how they treat the less fortunate, or in this case, people with disabilities, right? People who don't often have the autonomy to advocate for themselves. We have Just Doka looking for a Yoshi the Drunkard. We have Dark Knight, I don't know, Freudian, looking for some Yoshi. We have actually a lot of Yoshi. Darian, my man, it's your lucky day here. Alex again. Yeah, a lot of requests for Yoshi. Let's go ahead and just get to it here, guys. Okay, so as I mentioned, guys, Yoshi the Drunkard was the first Shadowking legendary added to the game. His force affinity, his base stats are just totally mid, right? The average speed, below average defense, HP, maybe slightly above average. On his A1, he's bringing a stun, 40% chance, not bad at all. On the A2, we have a 2-turn cooldown, 2 time at random, decrease accuracy, big version decrease, or excuse me, HP burn as well. There's actually a nice ability. It makes him really viable in Frostbiter, for example, right? As a burner for 2 turns on a 2-turn cooldown, right? So really good against bosses, specifically with decreased accuracy and the burn on Flaming Spirits. On Battletoast, the A3, which is really, I guess, his I don't know, his quintessential ability that he's bringing, what he's known for, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Increase attack, increase accuracy, and a 75% chance True Fear on all enemies. Has a 100% chance True Fear instead when booked on enemies who are under increased attack buffs. Let's break down this Battletoast ability because it's actually really good, and as I said, it's really unique. He is, because of this ability, he's the best bomb setup champion inside the entire game. Now, bomb arena teams, they're a little niche. But they can be really good. I mean, if we look at a champion like Astrolith, for example, she's used in the endgame right now in the arena. Probably the most used endgame bomb champion out there. Personally, I love Gaius the Gleeful as well. We'll actually highlight him on a arena team with Yoshi today. But why is it the best ability? Because it gives them increased attack, which is, gets more damage out of their bombs, and increased accuracy, help them to land said bombs, right? So the very perfect setup. And at the same time, he's also bringing the True Fear on the enemies, right? That's really, really good. The increased attack is interesting, right? 75% True Fear is still not bad at all. But the increased attack, if the enemy team goes first, right? If you wanted to build kind of a slower than we're going to highlight today, Yoshi, we're going to have a very fast Yoshi the Drunkard on a go first team. But you can make a slower Stone Skin Yoshi the Drunkard team, and then the Arbiter team goes first, right? Or it doesn't even have to be Arbiter. It can be it can be a Duchess, anybody with increased attack, right? It can be a Raka, or does Raka have? Yeah, she does. If they go first, you get 100% True Fear, right? I guess it wouldn't work now that I say it on a Duchess because she'll also bring block debuffs. So you guys get the point though, right? I'm rambling a little bit too much about Battletoast, but it's a really, really good ability, right? Very unique. Partier fills his champion's turn meter by 4% each time an enemy receives a buff. So if that Siffy goes first, right, on the enemy team, well, you're going to get a lot of turn meter fill. This helps him cut in line just in case the enemy team goes goes first, right? So there's a lot of really cool things to appreciate about this dude's kit. And aesthetically, I think Yoshi's pretty cool looking, right? I don't know if they're trying to play on maybe any stereotypes, excuse me, with the big belly and kind of a Shamrock vibe going on here with a drunkard, but I'll leave that to you guys to cancel or police or whatever in the comments. Anyway, Yoshi is a pretty dang cool champion. I wouldn't call him an S tier legendary or anything like that. He's definitely a bit niche, but in those niches, he's really freaking good. I already mentioned a couple of them in Frostbiter in the arena. They rank him a 3.5 overall grading on hellhades.com. And I think that's probably pretty accurate. Frostbiter, a 4.5. I think he's probably a 5. You can just keep that burn up all the time. And at the same time, increased accuracy is very valuable as well. Dreadhorn, they give him a 4.5. So Dreadhorn and Frostbiter are, you know, two of, I guess, kind of the more challenging Doom Tower bosses. Certainly in the case of Dreadhorn, who do you think the most challenging Doom Tower bosses are? I think probably Dreadhorn's number one, not even close, right? And then after that, it's probably Nether Spider and like maybe Dark Fae. Would you guys agree with that? I don't know. That's kind of my opinion. Arena, a 4 out of 5. I think that's a fair score as well. You can use him in progression as well. He brings a pretty robust kit. Even that A3, if you're not using it in the arena, can still be helpful basically anywhere. Increase accuracy, increase attack, and true fear. Yeah, absolutely. Hard Moon Ice Golem. Yeah, a really good kit. He has a 4.1 attack multiplier on his A1. He has a 2.6 on his A2. We're really I do want to note that a 4.1 on the A1, given that his base, what is his base attack? It wasn't that low, 1299. If you build him for a little bit of damage, you're trying to min-max like maybe like I don't know, a clan boss team or something like that, he can actually hit really hard on that A1 too. So he has control on the stuns, some control on the A3 as well. Let's see. Let me just go into my build on Mr. Yoshi here. All right, guys, so we're taking a look at my Yoshi the Drunkard. I would love to see a skin for Yoshi the Drunkard, right? That'd be pretty cool. Anyway, I have him built in 2 perception sets as well as a 2-piece stone skin. Now, my favorite build for this champion, I just can't make it happen because I don't have the accessories. My very favorite build would be 2 perception sets, so 4 perception pieces, and then a 4-piece stone skin on top of that. But again, that's going to require that you have those Shadowking stone skin accessories. So a 1-turn stone skin to start off the battle, along with a nice juicy 80 accuracy boost as well, would be my favorite way to go when building him. But today we do have a couple stone skin pieces here. I'm kind of prepping for my 4-piece stone skin in the future. I need one more accessory to make it happen. I have 1 ring right now, but that's all I have. But to go over, obviously, priorities in terms of stats are going to be accuracy and speed. Keep in mind, he does bring his own increased accuracy. That certainly helps the threshold, especially in PvP, where the more accuracy, the merrier, right? We have HP on the ring, some survivability. We have HP on the amulet here. Looking for accuracy, most importantly. HP or defense is just fine. Defense is, you might want to go with 1 defense on one of the accessories, the ring or the amulet, just because it doesn't scale as well as HP, and then go HP percentage on the chest. But I don't think it's not going to be the end of the world either way. We have accuracy on the banner, a really nice banner here that we have. We stole it from Lady Mikage for the video here. We put speed on the boots, looking for speed if we can get it, speed ascension stats. I lied. HP, I think, is great on the chest, but for PvP specifically, I think going accuracy might be the best way, especially if you have a nice speed roll, a double or a triple speed roll, or even a quad with an accuracy main stat. Again, there's no such thing as too much accuracy inside the arena. I do have defense percentage on the gauntlets there. I have it on because of the speed. As I mentioned earlier, I would prefer HP percentage on the gauntlets. Again, looking for speed as substats here. Speed, 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 and speed, right? That's kind of why I have the 2-piece stone skin there right now, is because they have really, really good speed on them. Let me go ahead and show you the total stats for my Yoshi in today's build. I mean, 66K on HP and 3,900 considering we have an accuracy on the chest. That's great. Now, I do have him empowered, so, I mean, that's why I'm getting some of these stats, obviously. Quite a bit. 7,000 on the HP, 300 on the defense, and some accuracy as well in terms of the stats that we really care about. Speed, too. So, 338 on the speed, 552 on the accuracy. If you're just starting out, you're in the mid game, the stat priorities are going to be the same, even if you can't obtain these particular stats, right? So we do have intimidating presence. I use him as an aura lead on the team that I'm going to be running today. So why not strengthen that aura at the same time? As you guys know, the blessing stats are still going to be exactly the same anyway. In terms of masteries, I have him again in an arena build. I'll show you an alternative in just a moment here. I went down the support tree. I do have lasting gifts to extend the duration of the increased accuracy as well as the increased attack. And then I also have Master Hexer to increase the duration of the HP burn and the decreased accuracy. And then I ended with Eagle Eyes, a tier 6 mastery, to get even more accuracy on this champion, specifically for arena battles to set up bomb teams. I went defense as well. I came down. I love Shadow Heal. I've talked about it a lot. I love rejuvenation as well. So really love getting a little bit more support built into this champion, and then we come down with Cycle of Revenge to increase that turn meter. It's a nice kind of a synergy with his passive partier, is it called? Nothing wrong with going offense tree and coming down and picking up War Master, especially if you're mainly using this champion in PvE content as well, against like the Frostbiter, against Ice Golem, areas like that. Looking at the website here, general PvE, yeah, I love this build. I love this build that they recommend here on hellhades.com. Here, I'll kind of put it, I'll put myself in the middle so you guys can copy it if you want to, but this is beautiful for PvE. Again, Master Hexter and Lasting Gifts, I think they're like must-haves for this champion. I love the support tree on him first and foremost, and then it's up to you if you want to go offense or defense. We'll be leaving a little bit of damage on the table today by not going War Master, but this is totally cool. And hey, this is very similar to mine, the tank PvE build. It's similar to what we have going on as well. One other mastery that I do want to point out here is the Leech, the Harvest of Despair. We should have Harvest to spare on this build because we're placing the True Fear. We love to place those leeches at the same time. So shame on me. I would come down in even if I love Delay Death too, but even over Delay Death, I'd rather come from Resurgent to Harvest to Spare to Cycle of Revenge. Even going Retribution instead of Cycle of Revenge is an absolutely great and viable option to land more stuns off that A1. Okay, so we talked about the build. We talked about some blessings. We talked about masteries. Let's go ahead and use him. Let's start out in Cursed City for just a little quick run with him. I actually did use him on really endgame Cursed City here on stage 24 of Soul Cross in Cursed City. I used him as my aura lead. This is one of those awakening stages, so I have exactly 20 out of 20 here, and this is the team. It's actually a pretty dang good team, right? It just lucked out on the blessings, having exactly enough. Let me make myself a little bit smaller here. He goes there. You can already see he's landing the True Fear, True Fear, True Fear, True Fear on pretty much everybody right there. I think with the exception of Altan, right? So pretty dependable, even though they weren't under increased attack, he was still landing them on around 75% of the enemies or so, right? Go figure. So we are dealing with a block damage, which is a little bit annoying here. I'll come back at you guys in the second wave. All right, guys, second wave. Battle Toast is down. That time, not so good on the luck there. We landed a couple True Fears. Obviously, he has way more than enough accuracy necessary there. Keep in mind, obviously, against Spirit Affinity, he is going to have a weak matchup. And he's about ready. You can't die and ruin my highlight video, man. You can't do it. Luckily, Mithrala comes in there in the clutch and saves his life with that shield and the cleanse. And then Arbiter is going to come back around and heal him. So hopefully he will be fine. Battle Toast again, but look at those True Fears, man. Having those True Fears on a 3-turn cooldown, not to mention adding increased attack to a champion like a Nithwi Blood Twin, who's our main damage dealer. Granted, we also have it with Arbiter on this team, but it's going to be a great help. He comes with a Flaming Spirit. Flaming Spirit, that A2 with the burn and the decreased accuracy, it's definitely handy, but it's not very reliable against waves, right? It's 2 times at random, so we cannot, sadly, we cannot pick who are actually going to put those debuffs on. Sometimes there might not be any reason at all to want a decreased accuracy on a specific champion who's not going to be landing debuffs. So it's good against bosses in particular. Outside of that, it has limited viability, but it's still a good A2 against said bosses. Unfortunately, I don't have an a Frostbiter rotation right now on Doom Tower, so I cannot show you guys that. But for all intents and purposes, I mean, like, I think that Yoshi, just with the A3 alone, he adds a pretty strong control and buff aspect that can really fit in mostly any team. And I love the fact that he is a Force Affinity champion as well. Magic Affinity champions are still probably the most popular overall in the game, especially in the arena. So you get to take advantage of that as well. So let's go ahead and let's go into the arena. Let's show the bomb team, guys. What do you say? Let's just go against the first team that we have here. Here's the squad. I do have a debuffer. I have Lydia because I love Lydia, and I don't have a reviver on the team, so I just, you know, you could run an Arbiter, you could run a whoever, right? It doesn't have to be Lydia. And I just threw UDK in there too, because why not, right? UDK, even on a go first team, he does such a good job just protecting everybody else, right? So I have a really fast Lydia. She's going to go first. It doesn't really matter. We're going to go with the Battle Toast. We do land a True Fear. Ironically, it lands on the Spirit Affinity and not anybody else on the team. But this is going to perfectly set up our Bomber, right? The Mad Bomber himself. He actually, Gaius is really cool because he actually does a lot of damage with his attack and can put him to sleep at the same time. And you can see they're not going to be able to touch me here, really, you know. We use the A2 there. We deny their revival, and that is that. Nice, easy first team. Now, when would you use a team like this? Well, against maybe a team like this. Against a team with a lot of Stone Skin, right? Bomb teams are great against Stone Skin teams with one big caveat, and we're going to deal with that right now. You got to be careful with cleansers, obviously, right? When you're going to run a bomb team. So we'll see how this plays out. You'll notice that I do have Gaius the Gleeful in a 4-piece Stone Skin as well. Let's go ahead and put, hopefully, yes. So how do we land that sleep on Mithrala Lifebane? She probably has like 700 or 800 or 900 or more resistance because of her accuracy is added to her resistance, right? We did it because of the increased accuracy buff that Yoshi brought to the table. That's why he's such a great setup. It was instrumental that Mithrala did not get a turn there because she would have cleansed off all the bombs, all the True Fears, all that stuff, right? Now, unfortunately, we can't come in here and stun her with the A1 because it's going to be redirected to Ultimate Death Knight. But the good news is some of these bombs are going to go off, hopefully, before she gets a turn. At least UDK's, I believe, right? Yep. So UDK is down, and they don't have a reviver on the team. So now at least I can get a chance to come in with the A1 and stun Mithrala. I think it's going to be resisted. Okay, we can lock her out now, hopefully. She's blocking my debuffs, even with the increased accuracy, which is a bummer. And she dies to the bomb. It's all good. You can see just how potent. I think this is a perfect way to highlight this champion, right? How potent he is on a bomb team. Everybody just evaporates at the end of the battle. All right, guys, I found kind of a tankier team. Hopefully, we can end on a strong note here and take them out as well. I would say you have to be careful. I think that with a bomb team like this, you can absolutely take care of a team like this with ease. However, we're going against Brogni, who has block debuffs. If we were going against a Brogni plus a Mithrala, plus a Pythion, like an Elva Autumnborn, right? These are the type of teams you want to avoid with bomb teams. You can get around one cleanser or one block debuffs. It's really difficult to get around two, okay? Luckily, we have this control here. We're going to come in and place the bombs, and it's pretty much already over. I don't want to speak too soon, but let's go ahead and I think we could just put it on auto here at this point out, right? All right. Oh, another one you got to be careful of is, of course, Marichka, right? Because Marichka, as you guys are all too aware, she will put the block damage on everybody. And that's another thing kind of holding back bomb teams, man. Anytime a poison, a bomb, or a... what is the other one? Poison bomb, or... is it an HP burn or something? Is applied, she puts the block damage on everybody. Anyway, Look at these bombs, man. It is bombs away here. And keep in mind, he's instantly activating everything off his A3. I love Gaius, man. He's fun. It's tough to get away with a bomb team nowadays, but Yoshi's the perfect setup, and he has a lot of viability outside just bomb teams as well, which I hope I articulated in today's video. Guys, keep the champion guide requests coming in the comments below. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.